Hey, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson. A lot of news going on and whatnot, these different contracts and stuff, especially with these running backs. And let's just go ahead and cut to the chase. I'm hearing a lot, like people like Stephen A. Smith and all these guys, people talking all this mess about Zeek. Let's go ahead and get this stuff straight right now as a lifelong Cowboys fan and whatnot. But just fair is fair. Let's just get into this right now. All right, in 3 years that Zeek has been in the NFL, he has led the league in rushing twice, right? He has amassed 4,048 yards, 28 touchdowns in that time frame. And he also now check this out, he's missed, unfortunately, 6 games in 2017, right? In that particular time frame, since Zeek has been in the league with the Cowboys and 2 NFC East titles and a playoff win, them guys are 32-16. With Zeek, they're 27-13 for the 40 games that he's played. Okay? Now, the funny thing about that, and what everybody seems to keep missing, and like I said, this is where shows like mine come into play. Got all those big shot shows over there on the ESPN, NFL Network, and all that type of stuff like that. But let me get to the meat of this. Check this out. Now, mind you, like I said, Zeek, in the yards of that, he missed 6 games. Right, so with possibly playing 47 games. Now, this is the player, one of the greatest running back the Cowboys have ever had, as an Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith's first 3 years led the league 2 times in his first 3 years, 4,213 yards, 41 touchdowns. Emmitt played in 47 games in those 3 years. The Cowboys went 31-17 and won the Super Bowl. Okay, now mind you, these are the types of things that I'm talking about right here, right? Now, in 2017, Zeek missed 6 games, as we all know. Cowboys, in that particular time frame, went 3-3. Now, with Zeek, when he played all the games that he ended up playing, because he ended up playing 10, they go 6-4. Now, mind you, Zeek, in 2017, they could have easily won the East if Dak Prescott would have played any kind of decent ball, and their defense could have gave him some type of turnovers and shortened fields, but that didn't happen. With Zeek, when he finally came back, they basically, I think they ended up going like something like 1-1 or whatever like that. But having said that, long story short, Zeek is the straw that stirs the drink. Just like when Reggie Jackson came to the Yankees in 77, 78. Go look it up, right? Top 3 at his position, easily, right? Easily, right? Damn near 30 touchdowns in rushing. If Zeek doesn't play Dallas, you can forget the Super Bowl, because they have a Super Bowl team basically with him, man, some of the talent that he got around there, or even any aspirations of Super Bowls or any aspiration of going to the playoffs. Okay? If you get into this whole thing, Dallas team has talent, but they don't have the talent of the 93 team. And that's when Emmitt held out. Same year, going to the 3rd, going to the 4th, having played 3 years, getting ready to go into the 4th year. Okay? Maybe don't have that talent that they have there. But they do have some talent there in today's NFL. And Dallas can actually go there. Can actually get to the playoffs. They have a Super Bowl team to do that. And they have a defense. If the defense goes and plays consistently, and they should be fine. You talk about Dak Prescott. And I like that. Like that. He's, underdog story to an extent. Dak is 32-17. His record puts him basically in the conversation of getting paid, right? But is Dak the top 3 quarterback? Is he one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league? No. Amari Cooper started his career with the Raiders, 2 Pro Bowls, 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, right? 2016, the Raiders go 12-4. They end up missing Carr. And I always sit up there and say that it's like one of those years where certain teams go to a Super Bowl, like a Tampa Bay and whatnot and stuff like that, and getting that Super Bowl, end up getting into a Super Bowl run, end up making a Super Bowl run, end up winning the Super Bowl. But unfortunately, Carr got hurt. He was hot that year, right? Now, going into the 2018 season, now he had a down year, 2017, Amari Cooper. 2018, 280 yards in 6 games and 1 touchdown. In 9 games with Dallas, 725 yards and 6 touchdowns. 1,004 yards, 7 touchdowns altogether in that particular season. That's good and it's promising. But Cooper is not a top 3 wide receiver. Sorry. He's not a top 3 wide receiver. And we need to start, let's see, this is what I'm starting to get ticked about. You have these different players because they put up a few numbers here and there. They've done this, that, and the other. And they feel as though, well, I'm in that echelon. No, you're not in that echelon. Just like that guy, Melvin Gordon. I just did a piece on him week before last. And I told you, Melvin Gordon, good back. Melvin Gordon does not rank with the rest of them guys. Has he put up touchdown numbers? I give him that. What else has he done? 1,000-yard rushing season since he's been in the league. And he's been in the league, I think, since 2015. That's all he has. Has he got some touchdowns? Fine. 69 yards total offense. Go look at the other film that I set up there and put up there a couple of weeks ago. Okay? Those guys do not rank in the top 3, in the top 5, not even in the top 10 at their position. Zeek ranks as that. 2-time All-Pro, first-team All-Pro 1 time, and been to the Pro Bowl twice. Mind you, Zeek does not miss that season, possibly Dallas in 16, 17, 18 win the NFC East 3 times in a row. Right? If you go back further to 2014, if Romo and Dez doesn't get hurt, Dallas is dominating this division from 2014 to 2018 easily. Now, Philly was nice. 2017, I give them that. But if Dallas at their full strength with Zeek, hey man, I don't say nothing else about that. You know what I'm saying? Because with Zeek, they've won 2 NFC East titles in a playoff game. And Dak has the record. But Dak, this is the year for Dak. Amari Cooper said he's not holding out anything like he shouldn't be holding out. What he hasn't, and I'm gonna get to that later. And he shouldn't. These guys are not the top 3, not the top 5, not the top 10 at their position. So they do not deserve to be trying to hold Jerry Jones hostage about getting paid. The only somebody that's lived up to that particular, who's lived up to that has been Ezekiel Elliott. Now, Zeke can blame himself, and part of that, Jerry Jones can blame himself, because if they go ahead, take those 4 games at the beginning of the 2017 season, Dallas probably goes, I don't know, missing 4 games, maybe 2-2. I guarantee you they make the playoffs in 2017 and possibly win the NFC East. Right? But they hit Zeke at the end to miss the 6 games, to missing 6 games in a playoff run. And that could have possibly been a playoff run. Right? Zeke is one of the best backs in the league. Top 3 easily. Everybody knows that you have to pay the man. All this jibbity jabber, all this yakking and whatnot, and mic dropping of Jerry Jones talking about, I'm sure they're going to get a deal done. They have to get a deal done. For all these people talking mess about, Zeke needs to get his shit together. They need to put some stipulations inside those contracts if he gets in trouble to get rid of his ass. I agree with that totally. But at the same time, it's like, pay this man. Over 4,000. Well, we got 4,048 yards with 28 touchdowns in his first 3 years in the league. He is balling. And you cannot take that from him. He's top 3 in the game. He can milk the clock. He can get you to cruise further. He can do everything that you need him to do. You have to pay him. He's the one that gets paid. The rest of them guys get paid 2nd and 3rd. And you can blame yourself about the situation, because if you go ahead and tell him you take them 4 games, sit down and shut up and I don't want to hear nothing from you, we'll come back to you in the 5th week of the season. Almost midpoint. All they had to do. Instead, Jerry wanted to fight it. He's listening to Jerry. And instead, they punished him, let him play. And then what did they do? Knock him out 6 games. No way Dallas is going to make the playoffs. And they need to get him signed so they can make sure that they make the playoffs and try to make the Super Bowl run. Because this team probably got another 3 more years to try to do what they need to do, because they have the talent 3 or 4 more years. But they need to get it done now. Get his contract done right now. Stop playing these games with this guy. Go ahead on and pay this man, because he's one of the best backs in the league. It's just for pure rushing. He's the best in the business. All right? Like I tell you guys, there is no greatest of all time. There ain't no GOAT. as long as time is still going on. Numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. I'll probably be back a little later.